Yeah.
Bro, it's an exciting moment in UFC as well. The one that would just happen. Chimaev.
Bro, he's terrifying. He does it to everybody. Everybody he gets a hold of, he just ragdolls. Even like really elite wrestlers. It's very extraordinary. His talent is undeniable. Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder. It's like there's some guys, like you see it in jiu-jitsu. There's some guys that look really good until they fight somebody who's really, really good. And then they get manhandled. You know, it's like everybody looks good until they face Gordon Ryan. Like Gordon Ryan can do that to anybody. Like, is Khamzat at that level? Well, it kind of appears that he is. It appears that he's, in terms of like the grappling that he possesses, seems magnitudes greater than anybody else in his division. Khamzat just charged in, dove in, got him down, and mauled him. Mauled him until he broke his face.
Joe Rogan couldn't hold back when he saw Khamzat Chimaev's intense training video. The ferocity, the speed, and the sheer dominance had Rogan talking. He's seen a lot in the fight game, but something about Khamzat's work ethic stood out, and it sparked a reaction that's got everyone buzzing. Let's dive into what he had to say.
Let's do it. All right.
Rogan couldn't stop talking about Khamzat Chimaev after watching his training and performance against Robert Whittaker. He called Khamzat terrifying, someone who ragdolls everyone he faces, including top-level wrestlers. What really got Rogan's attention was how Khamzat broke Whittaker's jaw just by squeezing his forearm across his face. He explained that Whittaker already had some issues with his jaw from a past injury, but this was on another level. Khamzat just crushed him, and it showed in the way Whittaker's front teeth were pushed in.
Robert Whittaker, like seeing him breaking Robert Whittaker's jaw just by squeezing across his face. Apparently, Robert Whittaker had a broken jaw when he was a child, and he had it work done, but it's always been vulnerable. Like his front teeth had been pushed in before. In the Dricus Duplessis fight, he had a problem with it as well, apparently. But this was different because this was like Chimaev got the blade of his forearm across the jaw, and it was like just crushing those teeth, and it goes into his mouth. You saw the photo?
Yeah.
What it looks like?
Yeah, man.
Rogan was in awe of Khamzat's technique, speed, and raw power. He pointed out how the fight was over so quickly, with Khamzat smothering Whittaker in the very first round. Whittaker barely had a chance. He landed only 2 strikes the entire fight, and Khamzat just kept charging in, taking him down, and completely overwhelming him. Rogan even said it reminded him of Khabib's relentless style, get up and get taken down again. But with Khamzat, it felt even more intense. What also stood out to Rogan was how Khamzat looked so much better at 185 pounds. At 170, he said, Khamzat was killing himself to make weight, but at 185, he's full of energy, huge for the division, and just looks unstoppable. He's got dangerous striking, world-class grappling, and a level of intensity that's unmatched in the UFC right now.
I mean, Chimaev was smothering him. Whittaker looked exhausted.
It was like, very early in the fight, too.
Yep, first round. I mean, it's just the amount of technique that Khamzat has and the intensity of his attack is unlike anybody else. He's so talented. He's so good at grappling, and his stand-up is fucking dangerous, too. And I think he's way better at 185. I really do. I think at 170 he was killing himself to make that weight. And now you see him at 185. I think he has more energy. He's more than big enough for those guys. He's huge. He's a big guy. He's good, man. He's really fucking good. But Ilia Topuria, that was the most shocking.
It says that Robert only landed.
So Khamzat just shot in on him and just started beating the fuck out of him. I mean, it was so relentless and overwhelming. And when Robert got up once, Khamzat dove on him again and had him down again in a second. So it's demoralizing.
Yeah.
Reminded me of Khabib as well, where like you get up, you get straight back down, and then you just run out of energy, right?
Maybe even more intense, because maybe even more dominant. You know, like to do that to Whitaker like that, a guy who's a world.
Rogan compared it to Khamzat's fight with Gilbert Burns, saying that was a much closer fight because Gilbert is such a skilled jiu-jitsu guy and has incredible toughness. But even then, Khamzat won. He took Gilbert down after getting cracked by a punch, showing how dangerous he is even when the fight isn't going his way.
Gilbert Burns fight, he won, but it was close.
It was very close. I think it's at 170. I don't think he's the same guy at 170.
Yeah.
I also think Gilbert is tough as fuck. And at that point in time, Gilbert he challenged Usman for the title and lost, but then came back and was one of the best 170 pounders in the world. It was a big step up in competition that I don't think Khamzat had faced before. And Gilbert is a world champion in jiu-jitsu. He's a very, very, very good grappler. So there's a difference there. When you get Gilbert to the ground, it's not that simple. Like you're fighting off arm bars and triangles and guillotines, and he's back up to his feet. There was a lot of wild scrambles. It was just, you know, Gilbert's a little older now, but back then he was really in his prime or close to it, and he's just that fucking good. That's why that fight was so close. It's just Gilbert, especially in that fight, he was that good. I mean, it was a war. He dropped Chimaev, he cracked him with the right hand, but Chimaev, even when he got dropped, he dove in and took him down. Like, he's fucking good, man.
For Rogan, Khamzat's dominance over a former champion like Whitaker is a clear sign that he's a different kind of fighter. The way he crushed Whitaker's jaw and mauled him so quickly was shocking, even scary. Rogan said that unless someone catches Khamzat with a perfect shot, they're in for a long, brutal night. Right now, it feels like Khamzat is on a different level than the rest of the division. His grappling, his strength, and his speed, everything is a step above. Rogan made it clear, Khamzat is a monster in the cage, and the UFC better take notice. But Joe's excitement wasn't just about the fight, it's also about Khamzat's insane training, and when you see what Khamzat does to prepare for battle, it all makes sense. This guy doesn't train like a normal fighter. Khamzat is a beast, and his workouts show it. First off, he's seen jumping over hurdles like it's nothing but smooth, explosive movements, and each jump looks like he's ready to pounce on an opponent. That raw athleticism sets the tone for what's coming. Then there's the barbell action. Heavy weights and clean lifts are the kind of stuff that build the strength to toss grown men around like they're nothing. It's not just about looking strong, it's about being able to dominate in the octagon. And of course, there's the heavy bag. Khamzat is smashing it with brutal power, throwing combinations that would break anyone's ribs. Each punch is heavy, fast, and leaves you wondering how anyone can stand against that. Next up is the medicine ball slam. He lifts it up and slams it down like he's smashing through walls. It's explosive, raw, and perfectly shows the kind of force he brings into the cage. Then you see him doing squats with a kettlebell in each hand. Not just light ones, but heavy ones as well that make your legs burn just watching. It's all about that stability, the strength in his legs that lets him shoot for takedowns and control his opponent on the ground. And it's not just about lifting and slamming. Khamzat's wrestling is on full display too. He's drilling takedowns, perfecting his technique, and practicing the relentless control that's become his trademark. The way he moves, the way he locks in, it's like watching a machine, efficient, precise, and unstoppable. Resistance band training is also part of the mix. He uses the bands to work on explosiveness, adding that extra edge to his already dangerous skill set. Every rep seems to make him faster, stronger, and more powerful. Then there's pad work with his trainer, which is just sharp, accurate punches and kicks, working on speed and precision. Khamzat doesn't just throw wild shots, he's focused, targeting exactly where he needs to land to do maximum damage. And finally, there's the sparring, which is the real test. Khamzat goes full throttle, pushing himself, testing his timing, power, and control against live opponents. Watching him in sparring, you can see why everyone is just blown away. After watching Khamzat's intense training, it's clear why guys like Joe Rogan are raving about him. But it's not just him. Michael Bisping has been keeping a close eye on Khamzat too, and he's got a lot to say about this Chechen monster. Bisping sees Khamzat for exactly what he is, a freak of nature. He calls him a phenom, a killer, and even a strong son of a bio. According to Bisping, Khamzat's wrestling is off the charts. He might not have the same accolades as someone like Bo Nickel, but when it comes to pure effectiveness, Khamzat's right there at the top.
Khamzat Chimaev is a force of nature, and he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head off. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell. And that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins, 12 stoppages. Only time he's gone to a decision is twice against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. And we know what happened there. He got a little bit tired. And against Kamaru Usman, well, he was kind of lucky to get that decision. I'm not talking shit about Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's phenomenal. But
Bisping points out that Khamzat's finishing ability is on another level, with 14 wins and 12 of those coming by stoppage. Khamzat doesn't play around. Bisping even puts Khamzat in the same league as Tom Aspinall when it comes to being one of the best finishers in all of MMA. And for the upcoming fight, Bisping thinks that's exactly what Khamzat is going to try to do. Finish Dricus du Plessis and do it fast. That's the best path to victory for Khamzat. Start strong, go for the finish, and get out of there before things get tricky.
he's a phenom, he's a freak of nature, he's a strong son of a bitch, he's a great wrestler. He might not have the accolades of a Bo Nickel, but holy shit, when it comes to being effective, Khamzat Chimaev is right up there. He's one of the best finishers that we have in mixed martial arts right now. In fact, I will say the two best finishers in all of MMA right now, Tom Aspinall and Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat, 14 fights, 12 stoppages, 2 decisions, as I said earlier. And I'm telling you, he's going to try and finish Dricus du Plessis straight away. And that's it.
But Bisping also knows this won't be a walk in the park. He acknowledges that Khamzat has looked phenomenal at 185. Just look at how he dominated Robert Whittaker. That was a scary performance. And Bisping can't believe Khamzat ever tried to cut down to 170. The way Khamzat missed weight for the Nate Diaz fight, flipping everyone off while standing at 178 pounds, just showed how much of a killer mindset he has.
Khamzat Chimaev moved up to 185 pounds. He's looked phenomenal, okay? The way that he destroyed Robert Whittaker, that was so impressive. And I don't know why he was killing himself on the scales to make 170 in the first place. Remember when he was supposed to fight Nate Diaz, he came in like 8 or 9 pounds over, just flipped everyone off.
Oh
my God.
178 and a half.
Said, I'm here to kill everybody. Kill everybody! And that's essentially what he's been doing. And that's why I understand the bookies have him as the favorite, and they probably think he's going to do that to Dricus du Plessis. But I'm telling
That being said, Bisping knows Dricus du Plessis is a beast too. He's gigantic for a middleweight, has strong jiu-jitsu, and excellent conditioning. Bisping even points out that moving up a weight class could make Dricus even more dangerous, allowing him to fuel better, recover faster, and perform at a higher level. While Khamzat's path to victory is clear, Bisping isn't counting out Dricus.
Dricus du Plessis is gigantic for a middleweight as well. He's a very, very strong guy. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got excellent conditioning. Now, the conditioning is going to be key for Khamzat because moving up to 185, the conditioning will be improved. The strength will be improved. He can take on more nutrients. He can recover better between training sessions. I don't know why everyone doesn't move up a weight class. I said this on a video yesterday, and I'm saying it again right now. Everyone just move up a weight class, okay?
But with Chimaev's insane training, his beast mode in the gym, and his track record of smashing through top contenders, even his opponents are starting to sound a little too impressed. Dricus du Plessis is the guy who's about to step into the cage with Khamzat, and he can't even help but give props where it's due. You hear it in his voice. He knows he's in for a real fight. He calls Khamzat an absolute animal. Dricus says every top 5 fighter in the UFC is dangerous, because they are, but there's something different about Khamzat.
I think Khamzat is an incredible fighter, but you're fighting in the top 5 of the UFC. Everybody's incredible fighters. And he has this one thing that works for him, and it's been good. But Khamzat is an absolute animal. Absolutely.
He's seen the same fights we've all seen. He knows Khamzat's got this one style that's working for him. Relentless pressure, hunting you down, smashing you with that wild mix of takedowns, strikes, and pure chaos. Dricus points out that Khamzat had a close one against Gilbert Burns. And yeah, the Usman fight wasn't flawless either. He even mentions how Khamzat beat Robert Whittaker, but he had his tooth snapped mid-fight. Even with all that, Dricus isn't out here saying Khamzat doesn't deserve his shot. In fact, he says it loud and clear. After that performance against Whittaker, it's a no-brainer that Khamzat gets the title fight.
Absolutely, but you look at the Gilbert Burns fight, which you could have scored either way. You look at the Kamaru Usman fight, and you go, yeah, he did beat Robert Whittaker, but obviously his teeth broke back. It's unfortunate. He is really good. So, deserving of a title shot 100% after that performance. If you look at the Strickland's last performance versus Paulo Costa, and then you look at Khamzat's last performance versus Robert Whittaker, that's a no-brainer that Khamzat gets the title fight. And I had my own selfish reasons. I was more excited to fight a Khamzat. But I don't mind the Strickland fight either. Let's put that to bed. Khamzat's fight is going to be there right after this. And that was just before. As soon as they said it's going to be the Strickland fight, I immediately forgot about Khamzat. And I decided that, now my focus is on Strickland. We figure this out, win this fight, and then we can start.
Even Dricus can't help but give Khamzat his props. With the way Khamzat's training, he's looking scary. And now, the stage is set for an all-out war. But what do you think? Will Khamzat smash his way to the belt, or will Dricus pull off the upset? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more fight breakdowns.